Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day, man. Let's get it. It's good. Jaden, Paris, Luis, ST. What's up? How's everybody doing? How's everybody's weekend? Views, Shay, what's good, brother? Z, Michael. How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday? Let's go. Let's get it. How's everybody's weekend? Let's go. Be sure to tag a friend and share, man. Let's get it. Game time, baby. Alrighty, everybody. Let's get it. Yo. Steven. Johan, what's good, man? Prince, Britt. Let's get it. Let everybody get settled in real quick. And we'll go ahead and rock out. None of the vibes, man. Some fast typing. Yeah, man. Yeah, over the years, man, I've just grown accustomed to fast fingers. Y'all ready? How y'all feeling right now? Everybody had a good weekend? I tell you one thing, I am very, very, very excited going into this trading week. We have some absolute beautiful A+ setups in my opinion. So, I'm very excited about that. Very excited. Give me 1 second here and we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go ahead and make this bigger so everybody can see. Yeah, I appreciate that, Shay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get this wrapped up. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get to it. First things first, as always, let's touch on this economic data for the week ahead. Pretty crazy week. Monday, we have nothing, right? Monday, we're pretty much good to go. But Tuesday is where the fun begins, right? Big day on Tuesday. We have CPI, which is at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the big focus this week in terms of economic data. This is what we're focused on this week. CPI is what we are focused on. Wednesday, we have PPI and retail sales, both at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would give CPI a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. Easily, right? This is right up there with FOMC. 90% of the time, CPI provides a bigger move anyway, right? These two together, I would give them a solid 7. If they're on the same page, maybe 8, but solid 7 out of 10 here in terms of market influence. We have jobless claims, as always, on Thursday, along with PMI, which is at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do have industrial production, but not much in terms of the market influence there. And that's pretty much our week, right? So the focus point here is going to be Tuesday. Tuesday, we have CPI. That is the focus of this week for economic data. And then we have Wednesday, which is another important day. But the big one here is going to be Tuesday. Tuesday, CPI, Consumer Price Index. That is the focus here. And yeah, this is what we got to look forward to this week. This can definitely create volatility, and this can definitely create volatility. This is questionable, but volatility equals value in terms of day trading, right? We want to... Bart, that's actually my computer. So, yeah. I wish I could cut it off, man. Trust me, I'm used to it personally, and a lot of people that attend the Sunday Lives, they're used to it. But, yeah, I can't. If I turn it off, my computer goes off. I don't know why it's so loud. If anybody has a solution to fixing my loud-ass fan on my computer, I'd be more than happy to hear it. It just started doing that probably a couple months ago, but, yeah. Is it really that bad? Now I gotta do a poll, man. Alright, let's see where everybody's at. If it's too loud, I will try to turn it off. I know I have 4 of them. I know I can turn off 1 or 2 and it'd be fine, so we'll see. But, yep, that's what we're watching ahead for the economic data points. Let's get into the charts. Let's get into the charts. By the way, crypto looks amazing. Bitcoin's going to be my first ever 6-figure trade. Right now, at this specific moment, I'm up a little bit under 90,000. If Bitcoin breaks 37.5 and we see like 38.50 here, I'll be up 100K on Bitcoin. I have almost 9 full Bitcoin. My average is 25.4K. I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited. And the beautiful thing about this, guess what? I told every single one of you guys to buy Bitcoin here at 25,000. Every single one of you guys told you guys to buy Bitcoin right here. But yeah, this could be my biggest trade ever to date. I mean, I could sell right now, honestly, and I probably will, to be honest with you. I mean, this is my biggest trade ever. I mean, CRM, I made 47,000, but this is my biggest trade ever. I mean, this is a swing trade, so I don't know if you consider that like options are, but yeah. All right, so majority says the fan's good. All right, we're rocking up. Solid 8 in loudness. Alright, man, I'll see what I can do for the next one, see if we can get it fixed for you guys. But yeah, and Ethereum, just before we get into the charts real quick, I did buy some Ethereum in a different account. I'm holding some long term. My average is great. It's like 1370. I have a beautiful average. But I took some in Robinhood. I created a Robinhood account and I bought some Ethereum here off of 2000. You guys can see this was a major resistance that was broken. Now it's retesting as support. So I picked up some Ethereum here at 2,000. I'm going to keep a stop loss back below 2,000, and I'm going to look for those targets into those highs there. So in terms of percents, I'm risking probably 1% or so. So I'm risking about $20 on equity here for a potential... Give me 1 second. Why isn't this... There we go. For a potential 5% move, right? So this is a 5-hour trade. I'm risking $20 for my stop to potentially make 100. So this is a nice trade. I like it. In terms of risk reward, it looks great. In terms of the chart, it looks great. Classic break and retest. So I like it. I like it. Brit, yeah, I've been holding Bitcoin for a while. I bought a lot of Bitcoin at 25,000. Yeah, I have 8.9 Bitcoin. I almost have 9 full Bitcoin. My average is right around here, 25.4. At this specific moment, I'm up. Let me check my phone. Yeah, I'm up $88,715 at this specific moment. So I would love to see 6 figures. If not, I mean, I'm probably just going to stop out back below 3,500. I mean, 35,000 and just cut it profit. But I would love to see 38.5, 3,900 to get this my first ever 6-figure trade. But alright, let's get into the charts here. As always, we're gonna go ahead and start with the futures, ES and NQ. First thing I'm gonna talk about here is NQ. This is an absolute beautiful chart. We've been talking about the same thing for probably a month now, right? All these fuckers are bearish, right? Don't get me wrong, right? Some people are gonna say, well, Felony, you took rejects. Yes, there's a difference between taking a reject intraday and trying to sit there and say, hey, the market's going to come down to fucking whatever, right? I enter a trade, I exit it within 5 minutes, right? But my macro view on the market has remained the same. I mean, you don't have to be a genius. You know, even if you just trade patterns, you can see, hey, we're sitting in a massive cup and handle. You know, you can call it a bull flag, whatever you want to call it. It's bullish, right? This chart here is bullish. That is the bottom line here. It doesn't matter what you want to call it. You call it bull flag, cup and handle, whatever you want. It's bullish, right? Even if you look at the structure of the chart, we're maintaining these higher lows throughout here. We just put in another potential higher low here after failing last month's low. I mean, it's not, you know, you can't really be bearish, you know. And I know I'm going to hurt some people's feelings, but it's just the way that it is. Weekly time frame is what I want to talk about here. We just cleared last week's structure on the monthly, right? So you guys can see here, we cleared that previous weekly structure, which is going to be last month's high. That's huge, right? That's huge. So NQ I like a lot personally for continuation, but the big factor this week is going to be CPI, right? CPI can turn this chart upside down. We could be strong right now. CPI comes out, we'll somewhere end up down here, right? That's a possibility. CPI has known to provide big moves, right? I mean, if CPI is great, who knows? We could end up breaking these highs, but we're going to see a big move regardless from CPI, in my opinion. The market's at a point where it's waiting for a catalyst. That is how I feel right now in the market. The market is primed. It just needs a catalyst to send it in either direction. So that's my personal take. And based off the chart, right, we're speaking in terms of the monthly, we're speaking in terms of the weekly, which is, they're both very strong, right? They're both very, very strong. I would say we go higher. I would. That's my personal take. And what I'm going to be watching is, I'm going to be watching for a retest of this massive resistance turn support, right? So now, the only downside is, where we're currently trading, is I want to show you guys something. We're bound in between of this supply and demand, right? So I'm going to make these arrows green, and you're going to be able to see, hey, this was a major resistance. It's now broken. So guess what? It's support, right? So we have this previous resistance, it's now support. And then at the top of this range here, we have this macro supply, right? We can see what's happened previously off this level. So right now, this is the channel that we're essentially trading in for the week ahead. My main watch on NQ is going to be a pullback into this 15,450, 15,500 area for a bounce and a move higher, right? That's going to be my first watch, like first and foremost. Number two is if we see strength, right? Say, for example, we just keep ripping, right? I want to watch this supply, right? I do. I don't want to sit there and say I'm going to take a reject immediately. No, but I do want to watch it. If we approach this 15,670, 15,720, and we start to see weakness up here, I would be open to a reject, right? But the main watch is ultimately, one is the bounce off that 15,450, 15,500, or it's going to be a break and hold above the top of that supply, right? So if we happen to clear this 15,720, I would 1,000% would be confident going long on QQQ back into that 16,000 level, right? But I am going to stay open-minded in the aspect of, if we approach this supply and we see weakness, I would be open to a reject. But the main watch here is that bounce or breakout. Market shows weakness in that supply, we'll adjust as needed. But those are the main levels that I'm watching here on NQ. Let's talk about a scenario just in case the market gets really weak, right? What can we do if the market gets really weak? Well, what we could do is, if this demand does not hold, we fail it, we get below 15,450, we can look for a retest of that to go short for this nice little imbalance fill down into 15,200. That's one thing that we can do. Next is, if you want to be super cautious, wait for these lows to get swept, right? So if we sweep this previous swing low here at 15,200, you can definitely go short back down to that 15,000 area, right? That would be the game plan on NQ if we get really weak off of CPI. But in my personal opinion, it's a tough chart, right? And you guys know, when it comes to doing your multi-time frame analysis, you're looking at multiple time frames to find confluence or conflict. Things you don't want to see are conflict, right? So if we go to the monthly time frame here, it's very clean and clear. Nice cup and handle, bull flag, we're breaking out, broke the previous month's high, very bullish, right? Go to the weekly time frame, broke out, broke the weekly previous structure, everything looks great, bullish. But then you get down here to the daily time frame, and yeah, it's still bullish, but the 4 hour is where the conflict comes in. Yes, we're strong, but we're in a major supply, right? You guys can see what's happened here previously. Tested it, major dump. Tested it, major dump. Tested it again, major dump, right? So we know that this supply is very strong based off the previous interaction. So what is going to be different here? That's our job, right? So when it approaches the supply, our job is to watch price action and determine, hey, one, I want to take a reject, or two, it's strong enough to where I'm going to wait for this breakout and then go long. So it's a tough scenario, but based off the context of this previous move, I would say that we go higher, plus the higher time frame showing strength. I would say that's the right mindset to have. But as always, when you're going to a big week like this with economic data, it's important to be open-minded, right? I'm not going to sit here and say I'm fucking bullish, because I'm not. I'm open to trading puts or calls. I'm open to trading upside or downside. I'm open to go long or short. It doesn't matter to me, right? I'm always willing to trade the chart. And if I have a problem and I'm wrong in a trade, I have no problem cutting it. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of problems that new traders run into, is they don't have that same aspect, right? They don't. Yes. I really wanted to talk about this because I don't think a lot of you guys read my watch list, which you really should. But I can't be as bullish here on ES, right? And this is self-explanatory, right? If we look at this monthly time frame, yeah, it looks kind of good, but not in the aspect of QQQ, right? This still looks decent, right? This still looks decent. We got a nice little bull flag here. Like, ES does look decent, right? Monthly time frame looks bullish, right? Looks like we're going to continue higher. Weekly time frame looks pretty bullish as well, right? I can say that. We have our low here. We have a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. We just put in another higher low. So, you know, this is still intact as well for continued upside. But once we get down to this daily time frame, things start to shift a little bit, specifically the 4-hour, right? If you look at the 4-hour here, we're just sitting in a major supply, right? Like if you look at this chart, what do you notice? Once was support, turn resistance, 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 resistance. Here we are again, just trading into that resistance, right? And when you're trading, a lot of your thought process should be based off risk to reward. If we're sitting in a supply right here, the last thing I want to be doing is buying calls, right? My risk is everything, right? My reward is what? Nothing, right? So the risk to reward at this specific moment, we're talking about risk to reward, is short on ES, right? Why? Because you can keep a stop loss above 44.30 if you're going short, or this previous 4-hour candle high here, the top of this wick, use that as your stop. Your risk is a lot tighter versus if, say for example, you were to go long here, where's your stop at? You're going to use 4,400? Okay, you use 4,400, that's a $17 stop. Where's your take profit? Back into those highs? That's like a negative 1-hour trade, negative 2-hour trade. You're risking double what you're potentially making. So, in terms of the chart here, this does not look as good as ES. Are we strong? Sure, we're strong. But it's hard to be bullish, so to say, if we're just sitting in a major supply. So my mindset on ES is going to be totally different than it is from NQ. And honestly, I don't really want to go over any setups here because I don't really like much, right? But the big levels to watch here on ES are this 44.35 for continued upside. If we can take out these highs here, get a nice closure above it, I think we'll rip back into that 4,500 area. That's my upside game plan here. If we continue to see weakness like we are right now, right? Say, for example, we come down, test 4,400, and then push back into the supply. I would be open to take a failure to go higher and look to go short there, right? That's something that I would be willing to do. It's a bit more high risk, but I do like it. Now, downside, I think we can, get a little jiggy below this 4,400 as well. So if we break this 4,400, I think we can look to take a retest for a move back into this structure here at like 43.60, which the risk to reward there is going to be extremely nice as well. Break 4,400, use a tight stop back above it, look for that move down to 43.60, risk about $5 to potentially make 60. I'll take that any day of the week, So that's what I would watch on ES. It's not my favorite. I think there's much better setups out there, but that is what I'm watching personally if it were to happen in terms of the upside or downside. But let's get into QQQ and SPY here. Let's get into QQQ and SPY. I know a lot of you guys don't trade futures, but you do watch them, so that's why I like to break it down for you. I watch the futures pretty much every day, ES and NQ. But, yeah, anybody got any questions this far? I just want to reiterate it as well, man. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to ask them, whether it's trading, whether it's business, whether it's entrepreneurship, whatever it may be, More than happy to answer. Alrighty here. QQQ will start with. I want everybody to follow along. So, drop a ready. Drop a ready when you're ready. We've got QQQ up, and you can follow along here, alright? I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. We're all going to get some money this week, and it's going to be a great week. Great week. If you got your QQQ chart up, say ready. If you got your notes out, or pen, paper, phone, whatever your case may be, drop a ready in the chat, and we'll get going here. Downriver says he's ready. Let's go. Alrighty, let's get it. So we've already covered these higher time frames on NQ, but you guys already know, right? Still flagging here. Weekly, still very beautiful. Daily is absolutely beautiful. What I want to talk about here is demand, right? If we look at this chart here, what's happened previously, right? 374, major resistance. 375, major resistance. This is our demand, right? This is previous resistance that's broken is now support. So my main watch on QQQ is going to be a pullback into 374, 375 for a bounce. This is my A+ top watch this week. Now, as I stated on NQ, we are trading below a major supply, right? We are. As you guys can see up here, this is a major supply. So continuation is going to be a little difficult here for me, right? I didn't post this on my watch list, but I am watching a high-risk reject. Same thing I spoke about on NQ, right? So if QQQ pops into this 380, 381 area, and we see weakness, I'll be more than happy to take a reject, right? That's a high-risk setup, but I do like it. In terms of continuation, we have to clear this supply. We have to clear 381. Get a nice clean break and hold above it. Get that 5-minute candle closure with volume. We can take the break and hold. If there's not volume, you can take the retest. Bottom line is we need to clear this 381 level. If we clear 381, I think we can see 385 shortly after. And that's my game plan on QQQ. 374, 375 bounce, or watch that 381 level for 1, weakness, 2, clean break and hold above it, right? And the same thing as NQ, right? If we happen to get very weak, we can use the bottom of this demand at 374. So if we get very weak off CPI, we can look to go short below 374, back down into this demand at 370. That is something I'll be open to as well if the market gets really weak. Alright? And that's what I'm watching there on QQQ. So the main levels that you need to have on your chart, 374, 375, 380, 381, 370, 369. Main levels you need to have on your chart, right? Obviously, I have a couple more. I don't think we're going to come down here, but, you know, it is what it is. If you're, you know, in the Instagram subscription or you're a mentee, every, you know, Monday morning, I post my chart. So what I do is I'll copy this link and I'll post it. You'll have all my levels. You'll have all my colors, my settings, my indicators. My chart becomes your chart. And I didn't know this until recently. It updates in real time. So if I draw, you know, say for example, a smiley face on my chart, you'll see it within a couple minutes. So if I have a new level on my chart, it updates in real time. Or if I draw, say for example, a potential trade opportunity where I'm like, hey, I'm going to enter here, my stop loss is here, my take profit is here, it's going to update on the chart in real time, right? Even whatever I draw, whether it's, you know, fib, whatever the case may be. I post that every Monday for the mentees and the Instagram fam. So, and I'll help you guys out with that in a minute. But that's what I'm watching on QQQ there. Let's get into SPY. Let me know when you guys are ready with SPY. Let me know when you guys are ready. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Scarlett? Stop. Yeah. Damn, I didn't realize I fucking muted myself. Alright, let's get it. SPY, right? This is a tricky chart. Tricky chart, right? We went over the supply on ES. SPY's a little bit different here, but as you guys can see, we are trading into a major resistance, right? This is that downtrend trendline resistance. We have the starting point, the connector, third touch. This is the fourth touch here, right? Now this is a little bit different chart than ES, which is why I watch ES, SPX, and SPY. So my game plan here, right? It's tough, right? It's tough. But the bottom line is if we clear Friday's highs, right? If we clear 441, I will be extremely confident going long on SPY. So if we get a clean break and hold above 441.1, we can go long on SPY back into that 444, 445 area, right? That's the game plan here with SPY. I really don't want to cover too much because I don't like this chart a lot. But the big levels to watch are 441.1 and then to the downside, 438. That's going to correlate to 4400 on SPX. As you guys can see, this was a major resistance. That is now support. So there's two things we can do here. We can either, one, watch it for a potential bounce, or two, we can take a breakdown if we get below that level, back down to these lows at 433. And that would be my game plan on SPY. This is not my top watch, but obviously I do watch SPY on a daily basis. SPY and QQQ usually mimic each other. Why in this case does SPY have wild wicks? Oh, you're talking about this recent price action? It's just manipulation. It's a misprint. So this happens a lot on TradingView or really any brokerage for the matter. It's just a misprint. Just a misprint. But we've covered the future so far in QES. We've covered QQQ and SPY. Let's get into the individual names for the week ahead. We have some beautiful ones. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ones. First one I want to talk about here is QCOM. QCOM is one of my favorites for the week ahead. We just cleared a major daily resistance at 122.50. We have nothing but room up into 128 at the top of this gap fill. So this is all just free area, right? Free roaming, sky high, we're flying, right? There's no resistance until 128.50. If you guys remember my watch list on Friday, this was the level we were watching, 122.50. And this I want to show you guys as a perfect example of what an A+ break and retest looks like. Right? This is what an A+ break and retest looks like. You have your defined resistance, stock breaks it nice and clean, nice strong momentum move, pulls back, you get the retest. That is your entry, right? Keep a stop loss back below 122.50. Look for your next target up in there into the highs at 125, right? That was a beautiful trade that I posted for you guys on Friday. Beautiful, beautiful. But what am I watching for the week ahead? I'm watching two things, right? Two things. First things first, a pullback, right? So if we come back down to retest this previous resistance turn support, 122.50, 122, I will 100% be interested in taking a bounce here. If we get super strong, right? I'm watching this 125 level for a clean break and hold below it. If we get above it, I'll be more than happy to go long back into this daily 200 MA at 126.70 and then that top of the gap fill at 128, right? So first target is going to be that daily 200 MA at 126.70, and then the next target is going to be the top of the gap fill at 128.80. 128.80. AMD. AMD is a similar chart. Very, very beautiful here, right? Very, very beautiful. You guys can see just as well as I can. We had a beautiful resistance here that is now broken and now trading as support. So with AMD, we're going to simply watch for a pullback back into this 115.80 area for a bounce, or we're going to look for continuation on a break and hold above 120. QCOM and AMD are my A+ setups for this week. Two setups that I absolutely love. AMD 115.80 bounce, or a break and hold above 120. We can go long back into that 122 and that 125 area. This is A+ in my opinion, for me. Right, this is what I'm looking forward to trading this week. This is an A+ setup for me. 115.80, 115 for a bounce, or above 120. Next, Microsoft. Right, this is self-explanatory. Microsoft is trading at all-time highs. Right, Microsoft cleared all-time highs Friday and held. Right, so right now we are trading in uncharted territory. We're searching for levels. This is very, very attractive for what? Retail traders, right? They love buying highs. This can get nasty, right? So what I'm watching on Microsoft is two things, right? One, I'm watching a pullback into this previous resistance, turn support for a bounce. So I'm going to watch this 364, 365 area for a bounce on Microsoft. That's first. Second, if we get strong and we get a nice break and hold above 370, hold on tight. We should see a rocket move, right? So I'm going to watch a break and hold above 370. All that's uncharted territory, right? So what can we do to find targets on Microsoft since it's trading at all-time highs? I'm going to give you guys a little tip and trick. This is the only time that I use Fibonacci extensions, is when the stock is trading at all-time highs or all-time lows. What you do is find its recent swing low, you find its recent swing high, which is here, and then you go to the pullback. Now, magic. I have targets for the upside, right? Swing low, recent swing high, pull back, boom. So this is a 3-touch system. 1, 2, 3. A regular retracement is only 2 touches. 1, 2, or 2, 1. 1, 2 for a bullish move, and 1, 2 for a bearish move. But a Fibonacci extension is 3. 1, 2, 3. Swing low, swing high, pull back, right? And that's how we can find targets from all-time highs. But personally, what I like to do the most is pay attention to big psychological levels. 5s, 10s, 25s, 50s, 100s. So definitely keep note of that. And if you guys want to stay on top of Microsoft, set an alert at 370 so you get notified when it happens. or set alert at 367. You get notified as it's coming down. But those are my 3 top watches for the week ahead. QCOM, AMD, and Microsoft. Those are my 3 A+ setups, right? Those are the ones I'm looking to trade with some size. As long as everything is intact as it is right now tomorrow morning, I will look to be risk on with these 3 setups. That's what I'm personally doing. If you guys would like to do something else, more power to you. More power to you. Kyle Buck. I'll post it in the New Beginnings channel with the watch list. I do it every Monday, right? So if you're an Instagram subscriber, excuse me, when I post my watch list in a New Beginnings channel on Monday, you'll see a little link that says Trading View. You click on it, click Make It Mine. My chart becomes yours, right? My levels, my chart, my settings, my colors, absolutely everything you can think of. My chart is your chart, and it's free for you to do whatever you want with it. Next, I want to talk about AVGO. This is a weird name, right? I know we don't talk about this often, but look at this chart. This is too good not to trade. We just cleared all-time highs. This stock is trading at all-time highs. Beautiful little rally-based rally here on the weekly. We got an insanely bullish close on Friday with increasing volume. I do want to say one thing, though. This is not small account friendly. I encourage you guys not to trade this if you have a small account, right? But for those of you guys that are interested in trading it with me with big accounts or whatever the case may be, if you're just like, fuck it, what I'm watching is I'm watching a pullback on AVGO back into that previous all-time high resistance at 925, 935 for a bounce, or I'm watching for a break and hold above 960, Friday's highs. If we can get above 960, I think we'll squeeze back into that 1,000 level for a new all-time high print, right? So AVGO, I'm watching for a pullback into 925, 935 for a bounce. That is a call entry, or above 960, a clean break and hold. If we break it on the 5-minute time frame, nice convincing break with volume, we could take the break and hold, which means when that candle closes, you can take an entry, add it to retest, or if it's not volume, just wait for the retest, rock out, right? That's what I'm watching here on AVGO. One more. Apple, big sentiment name, right? I want to talk about Apple because this is a big sentiment name, right? This chart is beautiful, right? I wish I would have paid a lot more attention to this, but this chart is beautiful, right? You guys can see here, we were just kind of flagging, right, on Apple. It was just beautiful. Nice little flag here. Apple is just doing its thing, right? I kind of didn't pay attention to Apple as much as I should have last week, but this is beautiful, right? As you can see here on this chart, we cleared a major resistance, right? Next resistance on Apple is up here at 190, so we have nothing but room to run, right? So what I want to watch on Apple is I want to watch 2 things. Number 1, I want to watch a pullback, right? So if we can come back and retest this previous resistance, right, that is now support, I want to look to take a bounce, right? So if we pull back into this 184, 183.50, I'm going to look to take a bounce here, right? I'm going to look for a call entry there. If we get strong and just say, fuck it, rocking out, I'm looking for a break and hold above Friday's highs at 186.50. We have room back into this 187 and nothing until 190. This is a very clean chart, and the beautiful thing about this is if Apple gets strong, market usually goes with it, right? So I like this a lot for this upcoming week. Another one I want to talk about, this is more small account friendly, and I wanted to post for you guys, is QSM. Had a quality news catalyst last week, and as you guys can see here, it's sitting at a major resistance, right? Sitting at a major resistance, but it also cleared a major resistance. So there's 2 things we can do here with TSM. First thing I'm watching is I'm watching a pullback back into this 95 area for a bounce. That's first and foremost, right? This is one of my side watches. If we get strong, and as you guys can see, this is a huge resistance, right? So if we can clear this major resistance here on TSM, right? If we can clear this 97.80 level, get a clean break and hold above it, I will 100% be confident going long on TSM. This could even be a potential swing back into that 100 level, okay? So definitely keep an eye on TSM. What I recommend you guys do is set an alert at 97.50, so you'll get notified as it's approaching, or set an alert at 96, you'll get notified as it's pulling back, right? That's what I would do there. Couple more things I want to cover here, and then do a little trade recap on last week, my most notable trades for making a little bit over $23,000. And yeah, man, you guys feel free to ask questions, concerns, whatever the case may be, feel free to ask it, and I'll be more than happy to answer. I'll take a couple moments as well to look at some stocks that you guys are watching. I have a couple more things I want to go over real quick. Tesla, I'll check out real quick. Tesla was crazy. For those who live traded with me on Friday with Tesla, we literally nailed the top, right? I entered Tesla puts right here. Not only did I nail the top, and we caught, I think, 40% on the trade, 50%, I turned around and caught the bottom. Like, caught the bottom. If I showed you my execution from Friday, I literally got the low of those 205 calls at the bottom. Literally, we had the bottom, and you can see what happened after that. Literally caught the top on Tesla and the bottom all in the same day. That was sick. That was sick. That was sick. That usually doesn't happen often, but definitely did it to him that day. That was Friday. That was Friday. Amazon, keep an eye on it. I would watch that 143.60 if we can get above that. But yeah, B. Newman, appreciate your time, brother. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great night and a great trading week, man. Blessings to you. Darwin, you can go to my Instagram and you can subscribe to the channel, right? To the channel. Can I go over IWM? Sure. Not really a fan of this chart, to be honest. I mean, it's sitting in demand, but I don't see any immediate setups on IWM. Above 170, maybe. If it gets above 170, I would watch IWM, yeah. Tesla, I just broke down a little bit. I don't really love much there either. Tesla is kind of just sitting in no man's land. I mean, above 215, it could do something, but I'm kind of not watching Tesla. I would watch this demand, though. If Tesla pulls back into 205, 206, I would be interested in a bounce down there again. If it gets above 215, too, that could be dope. Amazon, watch that 143.60. That's what I'll watch on Amazon. Meta 330. Meta 330, I think, will definitely have some value. Those are the daily highs there. It needs to clear it. So in order for bullish continuation on Meta, we need to get a break and hold above 330. Above 330, we can do what we want with Meta in terms of upside. Efren, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love. Disney, let's see. Disney, I don't know. After that earnings, man, it's just not what I want to see. What I would watch on Disney, though, if we pull back into this 86.50, 85 area, I would look for a call entry. Right, you guys can see this was a major resistance that was broken, and now it's holding as support. This is a huge demand. So if Disney pulls back into this 85.50, 86.50 area, we could look to take a call swing there with a stop loss below 85.50, right? So we can look to take a swing on Disney. If we pull back into this 85.50, 86.50, this previous resistance is now support, we can look to take a swing on Disney with a stop loss below 85.50. I would watch that. Looks good. I'm actually going to set an alert here so I can get notified. Yes, I do have a video on Weeble Mobile. Yeah, higher time frames definitely get treated with more importance. Weekly, monthly, hourly, daily. Hershey, I'm still holding. Hershey, we're still good to go. If you guys remember, we entered this, I think, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, I told everybody to buy Hershey long term. You guys can see why. Major previous resistance, all-time high resistance that was broken and retesting over what? What is that? 2 years later, 3 years later? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful chart here. I'm still holding Hershey. And we're up pretty decent, right? We're up pretty decent. Let me check my thing. I don't have the best average, to be honest. I don't. I do not have the best average. I do not have the best average. Zoom? Yeah, I swung some Zoom over the weekend. That's strictly off of this failure to go lower of this all-time lows. So if you look at Zoom here, right? Look at this chart. This is why I swung calls on Zoom, for those wondering. This is all-time lows. 60 was all-time lows. You guys can see this was a major support. This is where I IPO'd, held it. What happened over here was we attempted to break it. We failed, reclaimed it, came back down to retest. I entered calls on the retest. My stop loss is below 58.90. So I'm risking about $1.10 here on this entry in terms of my stop loss. and I'm looking for a move back into the 64 or 70 area, right? So worst case scenario, I take profit at my first target. That's roughly a 3R trade. I'm risking $1 to potentially make $3. But the reason I took Zoom was a failure to go lower. This is a beautiful chart for upside, right? You guys can see here, we attempted to break this 60 level, attempted to go lower, failed to go lower, pulled back, retested 60 as support, held it, and we closed a bullish engulfing. That is why I swung calls on Zoom. So if you guys are wondering why, that's why. The actual setup is called a failure to go lower. The entry was based off the hold of 60 and the bullish engulfing. That's why I entered. I grabbed some time and we should be good to go. First target is 63.50. 63.35. So first target on Zoom is this previous daily high here. If we can get above 63.30, I think we'll work our way back into 65.70. This has a lot of upside potential. The risk to reward here is just beautiful. I mean, who wants to be short into demand? If you buy puts here, what the fuck? That's not smart. Not smart at all. You know? So, NVIDIA, give me 1 second. 1 second, I'll check out NVIDIA. AMD, we already covered it. We already covered AMD. AMD, I also posted on Instagram. It's on my watch list. NVIDIA, I don't really see much here, to be honest. We traded that on Friday. Marilla, I think so. Did we? I think we traded Mara on Friday. But Mara, this is tricky. This is tricky. Marilla, if you look here, I think I'm pronouncing your name right. If I'm not, sorry. This is not ideal for longs, right? We have this big level here at 10.10. We've attempted to break it once, failed it. Attempted to break it again, failed it. So in order for me to be confident going long on Mara, I needed to see these highs get taken out. So like 10.60 now. That's what I would watch. Coin. Crypto's pumping. We should see something in coin. Coin we traded on, what was that? Coin we traded Thursday or Friday? Thursday we absolutely abused coin. Yeah, that was Thursday. Absolutely abused coin. Coin on Thursday, I took a 3-bar entry here. That was 40%, sold into these highs. And I re-entered on the 96 break and retest. Took my second entry here, sold back into the highs for another 50%. This was my first entry off this 3-bar play. Second entry here, sold into highs. It's a 40% and 50% trade within the first hour. Last week, I didn't take a single red trade. Those live trading with me can vouch as well. I did not take a single red trade last week. Not one red trade. Is it normal? No. Is that sustainable? No. I'm going to take red trades. There's no way around it. But last week, I didn't. I did not take a red trade last week. Let me see. Anybody got any questions? Questions about trading, entrepreneurship, business, me, whatever it may be, feel free to ask it. I'm more than happy to answer, guys. Telling you. Telling you. More than happy. More than happy. Whatever y'all got, let's get it. I don't know how to block out my account number. Give me 1 second. Yeah, with no conviction, I know. Give me 1 second here. What do we got? Pan W. Okay, got some questions. That's what I want. Some questions. I also want to show you my brokerage for those that are my naysayers. I don't like the naysayers. Give me 1 second. trying not to show my fucking account number. That's what I'm trying not to do. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that. Oh, I can. I can do it. Is my account number showing anywhere? No, it's not. Alright, cool. Give me 1 second, y'all. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, where we at? Citigroup, I'll check out in a second. What do you think is a great work from home second income rise? That's tough, man. I would say ecom. Ecom's a good one. Can you go over when you consider MACD and RSI? I know you only look for the first. What about swings? Yeah, I can talk about it for a second. Let's see what else we got here. How do I get better execution? Cedric, it's all about the understanding, right? First is knowing how to identify key levels. That's first and foremost. Knowing what to look for in terms of actually a key level. What is a key level? That's the first thing you need to know. Second is you have to watch price action. You've got to have the proper education on price action. What to look for, when to look for it. You can be a perfect chartist, so you can look at a chart and chart perfectly, know where levels are and know where everything is. But if you don't know what to look for when a stock approaches your level, that's useless, right? So a very important aspect as well is you want to make sure that not only you're charting properly, but you're executing properly. And that comes from actual experience, seeing it happen over and over and over and over. No, I'll never sell a recorded version of my mentorship, no. I've actually had to send a couple people, well, my lawyer had to send a couple people a letter because they tried to resell it, unfortunately. But that's why I make, I don't make people, but, you know, I do have stipulations on my mentorship in terms of what people can and can't do. What's a good desktop setup? All you really need is a laptop and a monitor, to be honest. Laptop and monitor. What amount of consistent gains? Here, let me go back to my other screen. Let's see. What about I mean, it's all relevant to you, T. So, what do you what do you make, now, and what do you need to make for you to live, comfortably, right? Not just comfortably, but yeah, comfortably. So asking me is not the best person to ask, I would say you need to at least make double what you're currently making so you can, have that nest egg. Because, to be honest with you, and some of you guys probably don't want to hear this, but trading is not a reliable source of income. None of us know what we're going to make the next day. I don't know if I'm going to have a green day tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have a red day tomorrow. What I do know is I'm going to wake up, I'm going to plan my trades, I'm going to trade my plan. That's all I know. I don't have the power to say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to make $30,000. I don't have that power. I don't know if I'm going to make $30,000 tomorrow. I don't even know if I'm going to make $5, So that's trading for you. Is you never know. All you can do is, stick to your system, stick to your strategy. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Strong closure means the stock breaks your level and closes strong, right? So you want a nice, convincing candle above or below your level. Like this right here is a, strong closure, right? That's a, whoops. This is a very strong candle, right? So you want to see a nice, big body momentum candle above your level. All right, let's see here. Can I remove my account number? Oh, I can. I can remove my account number. Sweet! I didn't know I could do that. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I think I can. Yep. What was my biggest loss? My biggest loss in one day was Amazon. Thanksgiving, like a couple years ago. I lost like 17K in 3 minutes, something like that. That's my biggest loss in one trade. But my biggest loss, like, I don't know if are you referring to trading or just in general? trading 17K, but I've lost almost 6 figures before. What else we got here? Can you trade without a monitor if you just have a laptop for trading? I wouldn't say that's ideal. McKendry, I think I'm pronouncing it right. I wouldn't say that's ideal at all. You need to have an active trader. I know there's one on Webull, but I don't think that's sufficient. How long did it take me to become profitable? From my lowest point when I was down almost 45,000 at my lowest point. I think like 43 or 45,000. That's how much I was down all the time. From that point until I became profitable was at least a year and a half. Minimum. I lost it in probably 8-9 months, and it took me almost double just to break even. Is win rate important? No, win rate is not important in my opinion. You can have a 99% win rate, still be unprofitable. You can have a 1% win rate and be profitable. Is win rate relevant? Yes, it's relevant. The reason it's relevant is because if you have a high win rate, you know that your system or strategy works. It just means you lack risk management. So if you find yourself with a high win rate, 75, 80%, or even 70%, you have a 70, 75, 80, 85% or higher, guess what? Congratulations, you have a working system or strategy. You just lack risk management. So if you work on risk management, you will become profitable. But win rate is not what you should be focused on. You should be focused on your profit factor. A positive profit factor, anything above 1 means you're a profitable trader, right? That means you're consistently profitable because of that profit factor. So win rate is important, but it's not the, obvious the focus. So do I ever size into a position or just go for it? I always scale in 1,000%. Always. It's never a time I don't really. 99% of my trades I scale in. Yeah, Turbo's over here squealing right now. Motherfucker won't shut up. It's just lately he's gotten bad, like always squawking. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If you're in your first year, you're break even or red, so what? It's a part of the game. It's a drop in the bucket. When you have 2-3 years under your belt, then worry about it. For real. Like, as of now, in your journey, if you're under a year or even under 2 years, don't be hard on yourself. Focus on learning. Focus on developing. Focus on being better than you were yesterday. Now you guys are going to make me go off, man. Focus on who you are as a trader. Every single one of you guys has the capability to become consistently profitable. It's just about how bad do you want it, right? How bad do you want to become a consistently profitable trader? How bad do you want to be successful in the market? How bad? Because you have the tools, right? And if you don't have the tools, they're available to you, right? Like, I mean, you could take a course, you could take a mentorship. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit out there, but I'm sure you could find someone who's reputable, right? I don't like selling myself, right? I have extreme confidence in my mentorship, right? I have countless and countless profitable traders. I'm talking about consistently profitable traders, quit their daytime jobs, working from home, traveling, enjoying the world, right? I can name as many as you would like. But that's not the point. The bottom line is you need the education aspect. But in my opinion, right? In my opinion, every single one of you guys has the capability to become consistently profitable. But you just don't take advantage of it. You don't want it bad enough. If you're trading every day and you're not journaling, you don't want it bad enough. Your journal has the answer to 99% of your problems. Guaranteed. Right? It knows when you trade best, what time you trade best, what position size you perform best with. You perform best on red days or green days, what options you trade best, what stocks you trade best. All of that is in your journal. And that data is available for you, on you, right? You have all of this data available on yourself. And at the end of the day, trading is a you versus you competition. Right? So that is why journaling is priceless. You can't measure the importance of journaling. It is beyond measure, period. 99% of your problems can be answered with your journal. You just have to journal. Why did you enter? When did you enter? Position size. What did you do right? What did you do wrong? Right? All of those things matter. What did you feel in terms of your emotions before you entered, after you entered, during? That way you can narrow down and pinpoint what you're strong at, what you're weak at, what you need to work on more. All of that is an extremely vital data for you to be able to look back and say, hey, this is who I am as a trader, which is most important, because no two traders that are the same, right? And I feel like a lot of you guys go wrong by taking a mentorship or taking a course, and then you try to replicate exactly to the T the person you're learning from. You can't do that, right? You can replicate their system, you can replicate their strategy, but you can't replicate their trading psychology or risk management. That is the most important. Risk management, managing your risk as a trader, is the most important, along with having the proper mental capacity to actually execute in terms of your trading psychology. That's the most important. That is the most important, period. Right? But I do have to rock out. I do. I'm getting on that time. I'm going to go pick up the little one. But yeah, man. I just want to say thank you to you guys. Seriously, thank you for taking time out of your Sunday to come hang out, man. I really appreciate that. Hope you guys got some value from this. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. That's all I ask. And if you really want to show love, tag me on Instagram. Let me know what you're watching with me or what you learned, and I'll be happy to repost it. All right. But I do have to rock out. I didn't realize what time it is. It's already 10 o'clock. I do have to go. Yeah, start journaling. Seriously, start doing it. Start doing it. Because it's possible for every single one of you guys to become consistently profitable. There's a process, right? I've talked about it plenty of times. There's a 3-step process. First, education. 2, time in the market. 3, journaling. Experience. That is the way to become a successful trader. 1, education. 2, putting time in the market and journaling while you're putting time in the market. 3, experience is going to be your best teacher. Period. 3-step process. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Y'all know the deal, man. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and rock out. If anybody's got any last-minute questions, feel free to get it. And y'all know what I do every Sunday now is I'm going to go to my Instagram. For those who are not in the Instagram subscription, you have the chance to join for 50% off lifetime. So what you can do is go to my Instagram page, find this subscribe button. Right now, I'm going to turn on this little feature, and it's going to be 50% off for lifetime. So if you would like to join, it's only I think it's 5 people, so make sure you guys get there ASAP. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on now. And yeah, man, let's get it. Appreciate you guys' time. Thank you for coming to hang out with me. And I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow. Y'all know the vibes, man. Alright? Thank you guys once again. Appreciate your guys' time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'll catch you guys in the morning. And yeah, manifesting a bright green week for all of us. Y'all have a great night. And peace out.